Hey, Brooke and Mike. Yeah, well, the entire first half, the Spurs were trailing, not by much, though, by between 10, between 5, between even 2 there in the first half. But then the Spurs, before this game, said that they need to make sure that they finish in the second half, something that they certainly did not do against the Pelicans. Well, they did do that tonight against Memphis. Unfortunately, it just came down to less than a second, and that foul, like Mike said. One thing I do want to mention, too, is LaMarcus Aldridge. He's supposed to be part of the big two with DeMar DeRozan. He's been really struggling lately. Coming into today in the month of November, he was shooting 39% from the field. Well, at the end of the third quarter, he had 3 for 13 from the field. Really not good. He actually finished with 6 for 20 from the field. Well, that's a little improvement from the third quarter. That's because he came up with some really big shots with the final few seconds left in the game. Like Mike mentioned, of course, it wasn't enough, that 1-point loss, because of the free throws. After the game, we spoke to Greg Popovich, and he said, yeah, obviously the loss stinks, that there were lots of mistakes made, and what it comes down to is which team makes more mistakes. Now, of course, we were talking all week about whether the Spurs can take advantage of being home. They are 6-2. Coming into today, and then they're 2-6 on the road, and they have 4 road games coming up. Well, it looks like it wasn't enough here at the AT&T Center. They're not going to get that momentum going on that 4-game road trip. Reporting live at the AT&T Center for Sports Night, I'm Adriana Torres. Yeah, well, we saw LaMarcus Aldridge struggle the last few games, and who was behind him? Of course, DeMar DeRozan still carrying the team. He did that once again tonight. No surprise here. Tonight, DeRozan had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He did shoot 50% from the field. He's a guy that the Spurs can always count on. Unfortunately, it's not always enough for just him to be the superstar. Let's hear from him after the game. Well, although this loss really hurts because of the ending, it's not something to really hang your head on. The Grizzlies are the second best team in the Western Conference. Now, though, it's time to regroup. Tomorrow, Thanksgiving, guys can spend it with their families, really make sure that they're ready for this long 4-game road trip in the Midwest, Indiana, Milwaukee, Chicago, Minnesota. I'll be there in Milwaukee and Chicago with reports here on Sports Night.